How's it going, folks? Welcome to another fun at-home table read. Tonight we are doing, honestly, one of my favorite movies from the early 2000s, Sin City, but not the Robert Rodriguez draft. This is actually a early version from 1993. I'm really excited to kind of see what this one's going to be. We got a great cast here, so we're going to jump right into introducing ourselves. I'm Logan. I'm going to be doing action description.
Hello, I'm George and I'll be Marv.
Nicole, and I'll be Goldie.
I'm Travis playing Roark.
Hi, I'm Mary. I'll be playing Gail.
All right. Well, away we go. Sin City, screenplay by Frank Miller. Exterior desert highway night. A road sign, battered and old. It reads, "You are now entering Basin City." A truck engine is heard, approaching. Headlights wash over the sign, tires screech, sound of a truck door opening. Footsteps. Cowboy boots walk unsteadily across cracked pavement. Sound of a gun being cocked. A huge rifle enters frame, held wobbly, and fires. Boom. The road sign. First shot has blasted the B from Basin City. Buddy, a drunk Texas cowboy, takes aim again with his huge pistol. The road sign. Boom. A second shot blasts away the A. The sign now reads, "You are now entering Sin City." Drunken laughter. Wider, and a pickup truck roars off and away. Tumbleweed blows by. In the distance, lightning flashes. No rain falls. This is desert weather. Hot, dry, windy. And we're about to visit a very bad town. A lightning bolt fills the frame across the night sky. No thunder yet. Exterior saloon night. A sleazy country and western joint. A sleek Porsche convertible pulls into the parking lot. Now the thunder rumbles delayed, distant. Another flash of lightning far off. The convertible pulls into a shadowed parking space between more pickup trucks. The convertible door opens. Long, beautiful legs slide forth. Close on Goldie. Beautiful, nervous, her blonde hair blowing wildly in the desert wind. Her trench coat collar pulled high. She jumps as tires screech. Wider on the parking lot, Buddy's pickup truck screeches to a stop, just barely avoiding crashing into the entrance. Buddy and his not-as-drunk pal, Tex, pile out.
Buddy, this ain't the greatest idea you've had enough.
You kidding, man? This is Sin City. Goes all night. And so can I. Man, so can I.
Buddy staggers on. Tex follows, shaking his head. Tex is a nice guy, but he's got lousy taste in friends. At the saloon entrance, Goldie approaches. Buddy stumbles into frame, followed by Tex. Buddy eyeballs Goldie as Tex opens the door for her.
This ain't any kind of place for a lady like you, ma'am.
It's okay. I'm just using the phone. Thanks.
Tex tips his hat to Goldie. She tosses him a delicious, friendly smile and goes in. Buddy stares after her, bleary-eyed.
Is that real? She a movie star or something?
Whatever she is, she's a few miles out of our class. Come on, there's a Motel 6 just down the road.
Buddy shouts at the door.
I want you! I need you! I must have you!
Tex confronts Buddy.
That's enough, buddy. You're too damn drunk and we're going to the hotel.
The hell we are?
Buddy swings a wild punch that flattens Tex. The impact sends Buddy back on his butt. He rubs his hand.
Damn, that really actually hurt. I need a drink.
Interior saloon. A dark, quiet, dangerous place. Goldie moves to a payphone. Buddy passes her, staggering towards the bar. Goldie shoves coins into the phone and dials a number. She waits impatiently, listening to the phone ring at the other end. She lights a cigarette. She turns at the sound of a commotion.
My money's good, damn it!
At the bar, Buddy lurches at the bar, harassing bartender Josie. A huge man sits next to Buddy, silent, keeping to himself.
God's sake, babe. This is Sin City. You got the booze?
Buddy slams a 20 onto the bar.
And I got the bucks. Now just line me up a neat little row of shots of that cheap dip you're serving. All right? Sorry, pal, you're cut off.
Buddy gestures at the huge man who sits, drinking hard stuff. The huge man does not turn.
I don't see you cutting off King Kong here. Yeah, that is me. You don't he don't ever get cut off, and watch what you call him.
The huge man the huge man turns to look at Buddy. His face is remarkably ugly, monstrous, scarred, but his eyes hold fire, and his voice is surprisingly soft. This is Marv.
It's okay, Josie. He's from out of town. He doesn't know nothing. You ought to get on out of here, pal. There's a place down on Redondo that'll serve you all night.
Buddy musters courage.
I'm not taking orders from you or that cow, big guy.
You shouldn't ought to use language like that about a lady.
It's okay, Marv. Stay out of this one. Lady? I don't know. She looks more like a cow to me.
There's no call for getting nasty.
She smells like a cow, too. But maybe that turns a guy like you on. If I looked like you, I'd settle for a cow.
You're really pushing it.
Hell, I bet cows are great. You get all those extra hooters to play with.
You really better shut your trap and get lost.
Buddy casually pulls his jacket back to reveal his huge pistol in his belt. He hauls the pistol out, waving it casually. Marv is not impressed.
I got something make me a bigger guy than you, ugly. So back off. Now set him up. Okay, another round. It's okay, Marv. No trouble.
Yeah, we all have one too many sometimes. He just should not talk like that.
Marv goes back to his drink, not looking at Buddy. Buddy cocks his revolver. He aims close to Marv, holding the revolver aimed at Marv.
Moo.
Marv stares right at the barrel of the revolver, unafraid, the fire building in his eyes.
You are really starting to honk me off.
Buddy's mouth, as his lips go round, forming the sound.
Moo.
Suddenly, Marv's hand lashes out, crushes Buddy's wrist with inhuman strength, snapping Buddy's wrist backwards. Buddy's revolver strikes the floor. Marv grabs Buddy by the back of his head and smashes Buddy's face against the bar. Goldie watches intently. She cradles the phone. Marv lifts Buddy's face from the bar. It's a bloody mess. Josie shakes her head, distressed. Marv has not left his bar stool.
Damn it.
You've really got to watch that temper of yours, Marv.
I'm sorry, Josie.
Marv rises from the bar stool and drops Buddy to the floor.
Just run on home. I'll call an ambulance and say it was somebody else.
Marv's fishing for money, producing crumpled singles. His back is to Goldie, who approaches.
I'm really sorry, Josie. Guys like that, they just set me off.
Drinks are on the house tonight. Forget it.
Nah, I can pay.
Josie's eyes glint as they look to the side. Goldie's hands pull up a roll of 50s from her pocket, snap off 2 of them, and slap them on the bar. Marv stares at Goldie in disbelief. Josie snaps the money up and moves to the register.
This is for the drinks and a bottle of whatever he's having. Keep the change.
You're the boss.
Josie hauls a bottle of bourbon from the bar and hands it to Goldie. Goldie smiles up at Marv, a beautiful, innocent country girl smile. There's a trace of a southern accent in her voice now. It wasn't there before.
It's Marv, isn't it?
Marv nods, dumbstruck. She moves closer.
Would you mind walking a girl to her car? There's a lot of creeps around.
Of course, ma'am, I'd be happy to.
She pulls closer. She squeezes his arm and takes it in hers. She guides him away.
So nice to run into a gentleman in this day and age.
Josie stares after them in disbelief. Exterior saloon night. Goldie and Marv walk arm in arm across the lot. He asks her the question in utter wonder.
Where'd you come from?
It's as if he expects the answer to be heaven.
Arizona. On my way to visit my sister in San Diego. I've never been to Sin City. So I thought I'd stop in for a night to see the sights.
There's not much to see. It's a pretty rotten town.
Oh, I don't know. So far, I like it.
They walk towards her Porsche. Goldie gestures to a big wheel pickup.
Is that one yours?
Nah, I don't have one. Haven't even got a license.
Hop in. I'll give you a ride.
Ah, that's okay. You don't have to.
Goldie. Those eyes, those lips, that smile.
You're so sweet. Come on, get in. I don't bite.
Exterior mountain road night. Goldie's Porsche fishtails around a corner. The city lights fall away behind it. Closer angle as Goldie drives. Marv is squeezed into the seat beside her. He can't take his eyes off her. She lights 2 cigarettes and hands him one. Her lipstick is left on the cigarette.
So you don't have a license, and you don't have a car. You got a place to live, don't you?
No, I mean, yeah, but
But what?
it's my mom's place. I live with my mom.
It's nice when a man looks after his mama. Quite a guy.
Says it without emotion, as if simply stating a fact.
I'm a total loser.
Whoever made you feel that way? People? Sometimes I don't understand them.
I can't ever understand them.
She pats his knee, and her hand rests there for a moment. Marv glares incredulous, aroused, and his eyes move to Goldie. Her face lights with a radiant smile.
Oh my goodness. Look at that. It's beautiful.
Goldie's Porsche pulls to a stop at the shoulder of a mountain road overlooking Sin City. Distant lightning flashes. Goldie leaps from the car to rush her to the cliff's edge. Marv sneaks a slug from the bottle of bourbon, and his hands shake. Goldie stands looking down at Sin City. She's got her arms around herself, shivering, excited. Marv rises from the car in the background.
You said there wasn't much to see.
I guess it looks pretty good from up here. I never noticed.
Bring the bottle. I'm cold.
He brings the bottle. She takes a slug from it and makes a face, reacting to the liquor.
I was just thinking how hot it is.
That's just me. I get cold a lot. Have you ever noticed how much easier girls get cold than men do?
She hands him back the bottle and pulls against him, her back to him, guiding his arms around her.
There's a storm coming.
Keeps threatening.
It'll be a big one when it hits.
If it ever hits, Sin City weather, you never know.
She whirls to face him, her mouth an inch from his.
Are you lonesome tonight?
Exterior, hotel night. A rundown hotel in a bad neighborhood. A neon sign flashes intermittently. Interior hotel room, dark. The only light is intermittent neon flashes from outside. Marv takes a swig from the bottle Goldie bought him. The neon light strikes Goldie. She slides out of her coat. She's wearing an evening dress. Her body is a fantasy come to life. Goldie pulls close to Marv, her hands on his chest.
You're nervous. Don't be nervous.
I just don't understand any of this.
She takes his hand. Hers is tiny in his. She guides him to sit down on the bed. She strokes his shoulders. Neon light strobes the scene.
Muscles like rock. You're a powerful man. That kind of makes a girl feel safe.
Goldie's mouth as she kisses the back of his neck.
You make me feel safe.
Marv and Goldie. He's tortured, confused, and aroused. She moves her hands down his chest.
I gotta be honest with you, I'm not much of a guy, and I've never been much with women.
Then you've met the wrong woman.
I'm just ugly and stupid.
You're strong. Strong. So strong.
Goldie's fingers catch at a small pewter crucifix dangling from his neck. Goldie stares at the crucifix for a moment longer than she should. She shudders. Marv notices.
What's wrong?
Nothing. Nothing's wrong. Everything's perfect.
She guides him to lie on his back. She leans across him, seducing him, slowly, strobed by neon, her voice soft, reassuring.
All your life, they've made you feel like a loser, haven't they? They're wrong about you. You're a big man, strong man, powerful man. And we're going to make love tonight. And you're going to see what a man you are. I'll show you, Marv.
She takes his hand and kisses it. He runs it across her body. He's tense, cautious, as if he were touching porcelain.
You're the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
And you're the man I need tonight.
He's groping her now, clumsy, dizzy with lust.
Slowly now. Slowly. It's better that way.
Strode by neon flashes, she kisses him gently.
Smell like angels ought to smell.
Let me be your angel.
Shadows of Goldie and Marv, intertwined, move across the wall, lit by neon flashes. Her moan is like music. His grunts are those of a beast. Exterior hotel night. The neon sign flashes. Marv's grunts grow to a bellow. Cityscape night. Marv's bellow reaches a fearsome crescendo. Interior room night. She pulls him down to her.
Name. What's your name?
Goldie.
Extreme close-up on Marv. This is the happiest moment of his life.
I love you, Goldie.
The bed. Heart-shaped, it spirals away against a field of velvet blackness, until it's gone and the blackness is complete. 2 white orbs swim from the blackness, hovering out of focus, close on Marv, trying to wake to focus. Marv's POV, the orbs come into focus as lenses, a pair of glasses, worn by a man who stands silhouetted against the window. Marv struggles to rise, but a hand lashes out straight at camera, cut to black. A sudden cruel light from a bare bulb as Marv pulls the chain. Wider, the room is revealed to be tiny, filthy, a rat hole. Marv sits on the edge of the bed, groggy. He pulls a pack of cigarettes from his coat, and he lights a cigarette. He rubs the back of his head. Marv stares at his hand. There's blood on his fingertips. He looks over his shoulder at Goldie. She lies still and beautiful, unmoving. Marv's hand enters frame to touch her neck, feeling for a pulse. He turns her head, blood at a spot just below her ear. Marv's eyes showing growing horror. Goldie's dead.
You make me feel safe.
Marv's eyes dart from to the side as the roar of a helicopter breaks the night silence. Windows rattle as the searchlight sweeps the windows. Helicopter roar recedes as the police sirens rise. Exterior window. Marv comes into frame, looking down as the police lights fill the windows. Exterior street night. Squad cars converge, lights flashing. Cops laden with body armor and hauling assault rifles move towards the hotel. Back to Marv as he pulls on his pants. Interior stairwell night. Cops charge up the stairs, guns ready, silent. Back to Marv, he laces up his boots. At a landing, the cops converge, gathering at a door. Back to Marv. Marv leans over to Goldie, taking her hand in his.
Whoever killed you's gonna pay, Goldie. I promise.
He kisses her on the lips lightly. A sudden pounding at the door.
Please open up.
Marv pulls on his trench coat, draws the belt tight. He pulls a pill bottle from his coat.
This is the police. Open up.
Marv's hands as he shakes a couple of pills into his palm. He gulps them back.
Be right out.
Interior stairwell night. Crash. Cops fall backwards as Marv smashes through the door, splintering it. Bullets tear at the shoulder of Marv's coat as he slams a cop into a wall. Marv ducks more gunfire, leaping a banister. The stairwell looms, seemingly bottomless, and Marv falls down the stairwell. More cops fire away. Marv's hands reach out as he falls. Bullets shred the skirt of his trench coat as Marv grabs the lower banister. Bullets tear at his side. Marv hauls himself over the banister and runs headlong towards a closed window. Exterior hotel night. Crash. Marv erupts from the window as Marv falls in a cascade of shattered glass. Marv lands in bagged garbage piled high. He rolls across the alley floor and pulls himself to his feet. Police lights fill the alley. High angle, it's a squad car headed straight for Marv, accelerating. Marv faces off with it. Marv charges right at the oncoming squad car and vaults its hood. Interior squad car. The cops recoil as Marv crashes feet first through the windshield. In the squad car, as it slams into a wall, the engine dies. Crash, crash. Sounds of violence from the squad car. The squad car door flies open, and the cops fly out on either side, kicked by Marv. More cops rush into the alley on foot. The cops take aim and fire. Interior squad car. Bullets rip at the windows and upholstery. Bloody, battered Marv guns the engine. On Marv's hand as he jams the gear shift into reverse. Squad car roars backward into the alley, sending cops flying like 10 pins. Exterior street night. Marv's squad car fishtails out and roars off as cops move to their cars and give chase. Interior squad car moving night. Marv driving is a bloody mess. Police lights flash from the pursuing squad cars. Exterior dockyard night. Marv's squad car roars straight down the dock and off of it. Splash. Other squad cars pull up, cops pour out and begin firing as the squad car sinks, riddled with bullets. Underwater, bullets drift by. Marv swims from the sinking squad car. A large pipe looms, blackness inside. Marv swims to it. The darkness swallows him. Interior pipe. Marv swims towards the source of light and down the pipe. Exterior dock night. Cops fire, and they stop, waiting, confused. A sewer grating underground. As rats scramble through the grating, Marv's hand grabs at the grating and he shoves the grating free. Wider on the sewer. Marv clambers out, waist deep in the water. His bullet-riddled coat is in tatters. Marv frowns. He reaches to his pocket, draws forth his pill bottle. On the pill bottle, a bullet has smashed it. The remaining pills are mush. Marv tosses the mess away and moves on. Exterior cityscape night. Downtown Sin City. A helicopter patrols circling. It roars past a building. 20 stories up, its searchlight pivots, filling the frame with blinding light. On a building corner, the searchlight sweeps a stretch of wall, then recedes. Marv emerges from hiding at the building's side. Marv's fingers grip the bricks as he climbs. On a long shot, as Marv is a silhouette as he climbs high above the city. A window ledge, Marv clambers up. He moves across the ledge towards an open window. Interior bedroom night. Voluptuous, Tuffles-Nails Lucille sleeps. She jerks awake as something goes thud.
Claire,
No response. Lucille rises. She moves to a bureau. Close shot as Lucille pulls a .357 Magnum from the drawer. She cocks it like a total pro. Interior hallway night. Lucille emerges from her bedroom. She moves towards a bathroom door. The light was on. She pauses at the side of the doorway and she hears a grunt. Interior bathroom night. At the doorway, Lucille pivots into view, aiming at the Magnum straight at camera. Combat stance.
oh, it's you.
She uncocks the pistol. Close on Marv. He's got band-aids on dozens of his cuts. He looks silly. He grins at Lucille.
Don't worry, Lucille. I was just grazed. You got any beers around this place?
Lucille tosses her Magnum on a heap of clothes in the hamper. She seems unaware that she's nearly naked. Marv sits at the edge of the tub. He's stripped to his shorts.
No, there's no way I'm giving you any alcohol.
Lucille moves to the medicine cabinet, fishing around.
Besides, booze isn't what you came for, is it?
Nah, I guess not.
Lucille tosses Marv a new pill bottle. He catches it and yanks the lid off.
Go ahead. You're worse without them.
Thanks a lot, Lucille. You're being really nice about me busting in like this.
She looks him over.
Haven't seen you like this in a while, Marv.
Yeah, I had to fight some cops.
Oh no, don't tell me this.
I had a good reason, Lucille.
She lights a cigarette. She speaks to him as if she were handling a live explosive.
Do your best to remember. Did you kill any of those cops?
It all went by pretty fast, but no, I don't think so. They know they've been in a fight, that's for damn sure.
This is very bad, Marv. I don't know how I'm going to square it with the board.
I don't think there's any way to square it, not this time.
Sit tight, Marv. I'll get dressed. We'll go to the station. We'll figure something out.
She moves towards the door, but Marv leaps to his feet, grabbing her shoulders. Lucille yelps in sudden pain.
Nah, I got things to do.
Marv and Lucille, their faces are barely an inch apart. The fire returns to his eyes.
You gotta understand, Lucille. This isn't some barroom brawl or some creep with a gas can looking to torch some wino. This is big, and there's no way out of it.
Settle down, Marv.
There's no settling down, not this time.
Prison was hell for you, Marv. It'll be life this time.
He grabs his coat and moves for the door. She calls after him.
You've been a lot of help, Lucille, thanks. But it's Gladys I need now. Sweet Gladys.
Who the hell is Gladys?
But he's gone. Shaken, Lucille fires up another cigarette. Exterior rooftop night. Marv runs across the high roof. He leaps into space. Marv somersaults through midair, downward. At a lower roof, Marv lands in a dead run. Exterior house night. A modest house in a low-rent neighborhood. Marv appears by a hedge. He scans the area for trouble. At the side door, Marv sneaks up. He fumbles through his pockets and opens the door without a key. Interior kitchen. Marv quietly removes his combat boots. Interior stairwell. Carrying his boots, one in each hand, Marv tiptoes quietly up the stairs. Interior bedroom. Marv's mom lies sleeping. Marv tiptoes past the open door. Interior Marv's room. It looks like a little boy's room. A way too small bed, plastic dinosaurs, a model airplane hanging from the ceiling, scattered comic books. Marv sits on the bed, rummaging through the contents of a small footlocker. Marv pulls forth a baseball glove and sets it aside. Then he pulls forth a gleaming, nickel-plated .45 automatic. Inscribed on the gun's side, Gladys. Marv rises, grinning, points Gladys, playing with it like a toy.
Got us some work to do, Gladys.
He doesn't notice the tapping sound. The door swings open behind him. Marv's mom stands at the door, holding a white cane. Her eyes stare blindly at her son.
Marvin? Is that you, baby?
Marv turns, smiling, his manner like that of a little boy.
Yes, Mom. Sorry I woke you up.
Interior house night. Marv and his mom are silhouetted at a window. Marv towers over his mom. Pull back and the window slowly recedes against the blackness.
Oh, I couldn't sleep for the worry.
What's got you worried, Mom?
There were some men who came looking for you. They weren't police.
That was about my new job. I got a new job. It's night work.
In silhouette, she reaches out to touch his bandaged face.
And what have you done to your face?
I cut myself shaving, that's all.
Now, you be honest with your mother. You're getting confused again, aren't you?
Mom, I feel better than I have in years.
There's something you're not telling me.
Boy, you can read me like a book, Mom. There is something. I met a girl. Her name's Goldie. She's really nice.
And now the window recedes to nothingness. Blackness. From the blackness, two orbs flash, as before, becoming a man's glasses. Goldie's mouth appears in a sunburst, murmuring, "You make me feel safe." The killer's hand lashes out, bringing the blackness back. Silent lightning flashes across the blackness.
Damn it, Goldie. Who were you? And who wanted you dead?
Tiny at first, Marv stalks right towards camera until the tread of his boot fills frame. A low roll of thunder, still no rain. Close shot on Marv. His face is a killer's death mask. A distant thump echoes. Marv's eyes turn in response. A high angle, an alley, lit only by a single lamp over a large black doorway. Marv approaches. The thumping is louder now. The door shakes from the impact of another thump as another thump is heard. The door flies open as a burly bouncer kicks out a rocker in standard issue black leather. The rocker sprawls at Marv's feet. Marv steps over him, never missing a step. At the doorway, the bouncer confronts Marv.
And your coat looks like Baghdad, so is your face. Take off.
Marv matter-of-factly grabs the bouncer by the face and drives his thumbs into the bouncer's eyes. Interior nightclub. The place is windowless and dark. Country western types all abound. Marv drops the bouncer to his knees and walks past him.
Tell Kadie it's Marv. It'll be okay.
Okay.
One woman looks apologetically at Marv.
He's new here, Marv. You didn't know.
Sure. No offense.
Marv moves through the crowd towards the center of attention. On the stage, Nancy, a gorgeous dancer in cowgirl costume and hat, whipping a lasso, a joy to behold. The crowd watches her, eating it up. Marv lights a cigarette and looks about. In the background, Nancy whirls and jumps, athletic. On one table, Weevil, a hairy little stoolie. He's halfway through a long neck when he spots an extreme close-up of Marv's mouth, smiling, showing yellowed teeth. Weevil tries to bolt, but one of Marv's huge hand clamps down on his head. Two cowboys pull their beers out of the way just in time as Marv slams Weevil across their table, holding him by the groin and neck. The cowboys move away, tipping their hats to Marv.
All right, guys.
That's okay, Marv.
Weevil tries to squirm away. Marv applies more pressure to his groin.
Take it easy, Weevil. Stop wiggling, will you? I'm here to do you a favor. It's money in your pocket.
Sexy waitress Shellie approaches, tray in hand, barely taking note of Weevil.
What'll it be, Marv?
Shot in a brew, Shellie. Thanks.
Marv leans close to Weevil, his cigarette dangling from his lips.
You gonna do what I tell you to, Weevil? Exactly what I tell you to? Because if you do exactly what I tell you to do and don't tell anybody I told you to do it, they'll pay you money and everything will be fine. But if you tell them I told you to, you won't be able to spend the money because I'll find out about it and I'll come after you and I'll rip your nuts off.
I'll do exactly what you want, Marv.
There's some people looking for me. They went looking at my mom's place. And I don't like that. So I want them to find me, but I don't want them to know I want that, if you catch my drift.
Right, whatever. Just tell me what to do. Extreme close shot on Marv. He's really enjoying himself.
Spread the word, Weevil, to all the worst people. And make sure they pay you good because it's worth it. Tell them I've been hitting the joints, drunk off my butt, shooting off my mouth and crying over some hot babe named Goldie.
Weevil's terrified, gasping for breath. I'll do it, Marv. Weevil gags as he's lifted out of frame. Marv rolls Weevil off the table to the floor. As Weevil rises in pain, I'll get the word out, just like you say.
So long as I'm being nice enough to help you get some cash, the least you can do is help me out. I'm flat broke.
Weevil hands Marv a couple of bills and lopes away. Marv sits, smiling at Shellie, who's brought his drinks.
We haven't seen you around in a while, Marv. We were getting worried something might have happened.
I had a rough patch there for a while, but everything's fine now. Right as rain.
Shellie moves away. Marv tosses back a shot. Marv's hand as he turns the empty glass upside down on the table. Close shot on Marv as he leans back in his chair, arms crossed, enjoying the show. On the stage, Nancy, dancing, whirling her lasso, leaping. The music hits crescendo, and so does Nancy, tossing her hat high. Nancy's hat tumbles through the air, upward, through the loop of her lasso. Back to Marv. He tosses back another shot. He sets the glass down. Now there's 2 more shot glasses on the table. Ruby, another dancer, whirls across the stage. Marv's hand sets the glass down. Now there's 5 shot glasses on the table. Marv glances around the crowd, impatient. Marv's POV on the crowd, staring straight into camera, a woman, a blonde. She looks exactly like Goldie. Marv rubs his eyes, and he looks again. Marv's POV, she's gone. Back to Marv, he shakes his head. He sips his beer and grins as someone brings a pistol to his back. Marv slugs back the rest of his beer and turns. 2 hitmen stand behind Marv, Dwight and Eddie. Eddie's the big one. He wears an expensive trench coat. Marv looks drunk as hell.
Now that is one damn fine coat you wear.
Exterior alleyway night. Eddie leads the way, pulling on rubber gloves. Dwight follows Marv, his pistol on to Marv's back. Marv is walking unsteadily.
Must have set you back 5 bills at least. That coat, I mean. Damn if it isn't one fine piece of work.
You shut up. Think we're far enough, Dwight?
Yeah, a little further. Down the corner. I don't want to drag him anywhere. He's got to weigh a ton. They turn a corner, stepping over scattered garbage.
And here I thought they stopped making decent coats back in the 50s, like cars, you know?
Marv slips on a banana peel. Marv tumbles against Dwight and grabs Dwight's gun hand. Eddie, he's got me! Eddie goes for the pistol. Marv squeezes the trigger on Dwight's gun. Eddie shrieks as his hand erupts in blood. Eddie sinks to his knees, reaches for the fallen pistol, but Marv's foot kicks the pistol away and slams down on Eddie's wounded hand, pinning him to the ground. Eddie can only watch helplessly as Marv, holding Dwight like a rag doll, slams him face first against the alley wall. Again and again and again. The sound goes wet. Marv holds Dwight up and looks him over.
Just for good measure.
Again. Crunch. Dwight slides down the wall, leaving a huge patch of blood. Dead. Marv grins at Eddie, releases him. Marv draws his gun. Gladys.
Take it off.
Marv kneels, facing Eddie. Gladys trained on him.
What?
The coat. Take it off. You're bleeding all over it. Fine coat like that and you're bleeding all over it. It's just not right.
Eddie pulls the coat off.
All right, okay, it's yours.
Marv takes the coat and sets it aside.
Thanks.
Marv fires. Eddie gurgles and moans as a huge patch of blood spreads across his back.
Love you guys. Hitman, I mean. No matter what I do to you, I don't feel bad. The fact is, the worse I do, the better it gets.
Don't kill me, man. Please don't kill me.
Marv's pulling his own coat off.
It wasn't you losers who killed Goldie. The guy who did that, he knew what he was doing.
I'm begging you, man. Don't kill me.
Still, you gotta have something to tell me. Like who it was who sent you.
Just don't kill me.
Marv slams the handle of Gladys across Eddie's face. Eddie's teeth strike the alley floor. Marv shoves his face so close to Eddie's they're almost kissing.
I already have killed you, you jerk. Wise up. And even though it feels like Niagara Falls down there, you'll be a long time dying. And I can make it quick, or I can make it worse.
Marv moves to Dwight, pulls out Dwight's wallet, grabs a wad of bills and pockets it. To Eddie.
I don't hear any name, jerk. I guess when I shot you in the belly, I was aiming a little too high.
Eddie stares in mounting terror as Marv's hand lowers the gun barrel out of frame.
No, I'm begging you.
Gun fires. Eddie screams.
Ah!
Marv sits back and fires up a cigarette. Eddie's hunched, his arms between his legs, staring at his groin in disbelief. Sirens approach.
You keep holding out on me like this, and I'm gonna have to get really nasty. I don't think you want that to happen any more than I do.
It was Telly Stern who passed me the order. He runs the tables over at the Triple Ace Club.
Marv smiles and fires. Sirens are louder now.
Thanks again.
Eddie, a simple round hole appears between his eyes. Marv rises from the blood and bodies. He pulls on Eddie's coat, smiles. A perfect fit.
Damn, it's good to be alive.
He dashes off. Shadows swallow Marv as the police lights sweep the horrid scene. At the doorway, police lights wash over a woman. She's holding a .38 automatic. She looks exactly like Goldie. Call her Wendy. She glares with hatred. She steps back into the shadow. Exterior Triple Ace Club. Day. A sleazy casino. Pedestrians walk by. Muffled pounding is heard. A sign on the door says closed. Muffled pounding. It rattles the sign. Interior casino entrance day. A huge bruiser with a suit lies sprawled. The bruiser's gun lies near his hand. His hand twitches. Louder pounding. Interior casino day. Two more bruisers sprawled, one with his head pushed through the craps table, still louder pounding. Telly's stern is a bloody mess. Marv holds him by the collar.
No more, for God's sake. I got the word from Tommy Katz. He hangs out at a whoop joint on El Cameo and Cantor.
Marv nods and swings a fist. Crunch. Marv plucks Stern's handkerchief from his breast pocket and wipes the blood from his hand. The bloody handkerchief drifts to the floor. Exterior street day. Marv emerges from a dark alley. He freezes, heard whistling. He pulls back into shadow as a cop walks by, on his beat, whistling. Exterior Italian restaurant day. Modest. A squad car rumbles by, not slowing. Muffled sound of flushing. Interior restaurant day. Most of the tables are empty. A businessman rises from his table and heads for the back, louder flushing now. Interior hallway day. Businessman heads towards the men's room, louder flushing. Businessman looks down and sees water coming from beneath the door to form a growing puddle at the businessman's feet. Close shot on Tommy's face. His eyes are bulging, bubbles swirl. We're staring right at a man's face who's drowning in a toilet bowl. Interior bathroom day. Businessman enters in the background as Marv flushes the toilet and pulls Tommy's head from the bowl. Tommy gurgles and gasps for breath.
You like talking yet, Tommy?
Marv shoves Tommy's head back into the bowl and flushes it. He noticed the businessman. Cheerful.
Hey, don't let me get in your way.
The businessman shrugs and moves towards an open stall. Exterior parking lot day. A police helicopter flies past a parking lot. Marv emerges from cover and runs across the lot and away. Exterior street day. Deserted, distant sounds of screaming. A sedan approaches. The driver's side door opens. It turns, revealing Marv driving one-handed, dragging a man face first across the pavement. The man screams.
I don't know about you, but I'm having a ball.
A traffic light blinks red. Exterior intersection day. A motorcycle cop writes some poor slob a ticket as Marv drives the sedan up. The man Marv dragged is slumped next to Marv, his face a red blob. The cop doesn't notice. The traffic light turns green. Marv pulls away out of frame. Wendy pulls into frame behind him, driving the same convertible Goldie drives. Exterior church sunset. A fiery, wild western sunset. It highlights a huge ornamental crucifix. Pigeons rest on the crucifix.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
What have been your sins, my son?
Exterior church parking lot sunset. Marv's sedan sits parked in the church lot next to a Mercedes-Benz. The dead man still sits slumped in the seat.
Well, Padre, I don't want to keep you up all night, so I'll just fill you in on the latest batch.
Interior confessional night. Intercut Marv and priest. The confessional is dark and the priest is chubby, middle-aged, Irish.
These here hands of mine, they got blood all over them. Now, you know I don't mean that really. I wouldn't come to church without wiping the blood off.
You're speaking figuratively.
Yeah, I knew there was a word for it. You're one smart guy. Myself, I'm not so bright. When I need to find something out, I just look for somebody who knows more than me and I go and ask them.
There's no harm in that.
Well, sometimes I ask pretty hard. By way of a for instance, I killed 3 men today. I tortured them first.
This is hardly a place for sick jokes, man.
You might say I've been working my way up the food chain. For the first 2 guys I whacked, they were minnows, small-time messengers. It was Connolly, the money man, who fingered you.
Priest rises, trying to leave as quietly as possible. He freezes as he hears a gun cock.
You know what that sound means. Sit down.
Dear Lord, man, this is the house of God.
Don't go pulling rank on me, Padre.
Our Father, who art in heaven.
And don't you start praying on me.
Then let me give you some advice, mister. Get out of here. Get out of Sin City. Sneak into the back of a truck or hop a freight car and haul out of town. Forget about the girl. Crawl into a cave somewhere and forget about her. This one's too big.
Who's behind it? Who killed Goldie?
You don't want to know.
Just give me a damn name.
You want a name? I'll give you a name. Sorry, bastard. Roark.
Marv stiffens at the name. Cardinal Roark. His face is a monument of nobility and power, the most powerful man in Sin City, waving from a moving car to a cheering throng. Back to Marv as the priest chuckles.
You're just pulling my chain.
That's right. Roark.
You are really pushing your luck trying to feed me garbage like this. It can't be that big.
Find out for yourself. There's a farm out North Cross in Lennox. It's all out there.
You're lying.
Find out for yourself. While you're at it, ask yourself if the corpse of a slut was worth dying for.
Exterior church night. Gun fires echoing. A pigeon flies from a huge crucifix. Interior confessional night. Priest clutches at his chest, unbelieving.
He's worth dying for.
Blam. Marv fires. Priest jerks.
She's worth killing for.
Marv fires.
She's worth going to hell for.
Marv uncocks his gun.
Amen.
Interior church night. Marv exits the confessional, pocketing his gun. He pulls the other confessional door open, and the priest tumbles out. Marv fishes through the priest's pockets. Close shot as Marv gets the priest's car keys. Exterior church parking lot night. Marv moves to the Mercedes-Benz and uses the priest's keys to open the door. Suddenly, tires screech and Marv whirls. A car tears across the parking lot towards Marv. Marv pulls his own gun and takes aim. As the car rushes forward, it's a convertible, a Porsche, and a blonde is driving it. It's Wendy. Marv is stunned.
Goldie?
Wham! The car hits Marv, knocking him into the air. He tumbles across the pavement as the car fishtails and rams him again. Marv looks up, bewildered and confused.
Goldie.
Wham! It rams him again. This time, Marv holds fast to the car, staring across the hood at Wendy.
Goldie, baby.
Wendy pulls out a .38 revolver, taking aim, still driving like crazy.
You're gonna pay for what you did to me, son of a bitch.
Marv throws himself from the car and somersaults across the pavement as Wendy fires. Marv somersaults as bullets tear at the pavement. Wendy fires and fires, her pistol empty. It clicks. She floors it and tears away. Marv rises, utterly confused. He staggers to the Mercedes.
Goldie?
Exterior mountain road night. An old road overlooking Sin City. Marv's Mercedes roars up the hill. Interior Mercedes moving fast night. Marv drives. With his free hand, he produces a pill bottle and uses his teeth to get it open.
That wasn't Goldie back. Goldie's dead. I just get confused.
Marv sucks back all the remaining pills in the bottle. He gulps, swallowing the pills.
Forgot to take my medicine.
Marv glares forward right at camera.
You got a condition. It's bad to forget your medicine.
Exterior mountain road night. Marv's Mercedes tears off and away. Interior woods night. It's dark, spooky, crickets chirp. Marv's Mercedes rumbles to a stop. Marv exits the car and breaks into a sprint. On Marv's boots as an iguana jumps away as Marv runs. Dry leaves crunch underfoot. Marv pauses, hearing a wolf howl. Then a faint clacking sound, distant. But Marv is on the move again. A windmill, ancient and large. It clacks loudly in the wind. Marv emerges from the forest edge. He pauses, taking it all in. The farm is large, dark, barren. It looks deserted. Tumbleweeds blow by. Marv moves across the farmyard, low to the ground, silent and wary. A rusting tractor casts a black shadow across the dirt. Marv slides from the shadow. He whirls at a rattling sound, draws his gun fast as lightning, has it cocked and aimed, as a rattlesnake shakes its tail and slithers off. Marv uncocks his gun and moves on, heading towards the dilapidated farmhouse. No lights are on in the house, no sign of life. At the back of the house, Marv turns a corner into view, moving into shadow. A hatchet is stuck into a tree stump. The stump is soaked with blood. Marv's hand touches the stump, and the blood is wet enough to stick to his finger. A low growl. Marv turns to face a wolf. Huge, red-eyed. Marv leans low, facing off with the wolf, his hands open and empty.
I don't want to fight, Pooch.
The wolf bellows at him. Saliva drips from his mouth.
Easy, boy. I got no gripe with you.
The wolf charges. Marv lifts it from the ground with a kick, and Marv swings a fist, knocking the wolf unconscious. It falls near a discarded sledgehammer. Marv leans over the wolf. He checks its pulse, not noticing the shadow of a man across the sledgehammer. Marv spots something small sticking from the ground. It glints. Marv tugs at it, pulls it out. The gleam came from the tip of a heel of a high-heeled shoe. Marv digs around for some more. In the shadows behind Marv, Kevin. Young, unkempt, smiling blandly, he wears wire-rimmed glasses. On Kevin's feet, he wears sneakers. He breaks into a run. He doesn't make a sound. Marv pulls a human femur from the dirt. Marv whirls as Kevin delivers a devastating flying kick to Marv's neck. Marv tumbles across against the old fence as Kevin shifts balance from one foot to the other like a boxer, still that bland smile. Marv draws his gun, another savage kick from Kevin throws the shot off. Marv's feet trip backwards across the handle of a discarded sledgehammer, and Marv lands hard. He struggles to rise. Kevin kicks Marv in the face. Kevin holds up one hand to show Marv his fingers. The nails are carved to points, razor sharp. Kevin stabs his fingers to Marv's wrist. Marv's fingers suddenly jerk stiff, straight, dropping his gun. Kevin's fingers rake across Marv's eyes, drawing blood. Marv staggers, trying to clear the blood from his eyes, swinging wildly. Kevin ducks and dodges with ease. Close shot on Marv. He's trying to wipe the blood away.
It's you.
Flashback. The orbs swim against blackness, then come into focus as a pair of glasses. The silhouette of the man matches Kevin's. Kevin picks up the sledgehammer, hefts it. Marv is ranting.
It was you, you bastard. You killed her. You killed Goldie.
Marv rubs his eyes, looks up to see Kevin swing the sledgehammer right at camera. Crunch. Blackness. Tiny at first, Marv tumbles across the blackness, end over end, weightless, leaving a bloody spray from his face. He floats through the blackness and away. Then light grows. Interior basement night. Marv lies face first on a tiled floor. Bathroom tile clean, sparkling clean. Drains are placed across it as he looks up. His face is a horrid mess. Marv's POV on the wall. More tiles. Pan across the wall to see a woman's head mounted on a plaque like a trophy. Then another, and another. 6 in all. Marv turns at a voice behind him. It's Lucille, curled in a ball, naked.
He keeps the heads, he eats the rest.
Marv moves towards her.
Lucille? What the hell's going on here?
Close on Lucille. Her eyes are wide, pupils dilated. She quakes in shock.
He eats people. It's not just the wolf of his, it's him. He eats people. Wolf just gets scraps. Bones. It's him. He eats people.
Marv pulls his coat off and wraps it around her.
You're in shock, Lucille.
Cooks him first.
Gotta settle down, kid. You're in shock. Hey, let's get you warm.
Cooks him. Like they were steaks. And now he's both of us.
He holds her, rocking her gently.
All right. Take a nice slow breath.
Made me watch. The son of a bitch made me watch.
She holds out her arms. Her left hand is gone. The stump is neatly bandaged.
Ah, Jesus.
Kept smiling that damn smile of his. He made me watch him suck the meat off my fingers. Son of a bitch. He made me watch.
She's thrashing wildly. Marv struggles to restrain her. Her scream rises. Pan up to a window high in the wall. Thick steel bars block any exit. Exterior farmhouse night. Kevin stands calmly against the basement window. He listens to her scream, still smiling. Interior basement night. Lucille sobs in Marv's embrace, crying helplessly. She wipes the tears away.
Christ, I could use a cigarette.
He hands her one. He lights it for her, staring into her eyes.
We're in this together, Lucille. And that's how we're getting out of it. You're gonna be okay.
Wider. She rises up and puts his trench coat on. It's so big on her, the skirt drags across the floor as she paces. Marv stares at the huge steel door at the room.
God, Marv, what have you gotten us into?
I don't know yet. It's pretty weird.
And it's pretty damn big. Whoever's behind all this got connections right in the department.
Marv stares at a single window of the room.
One guy I talked to, he said it was Roark running the show.
Lucille whirs, eyes narrowing.
Roark? Cardinal Roark?
St. Patrick himself.
Low angle on Cardinal Roark. The Roark gesture, speaking powerful, a stained glass window behind him. Lucille shakes her head.
It's gotta be bullshit. But whatever it is, he knew I was checking out that hooker almost before I knew it.
Marv springs to the window. He pulls at the bars with a grunt. No luck. Then he looks over his shoulder at Lucille, curious.
What hooker?
One you've been obsessing over. The dead one. Goldie.
I didn't know she was a hooker. Doesn't make any difference about anything, but I didn't know that about her.
It's a very high-class stuff. Top dollar. She must have shown you quite a time.
Let's not talk about that, okay? Tell me about him. The bum who snuck into my room and killed Goldie and did what he did to you.
Never knew what hit me. I was walking in my car. That's all I can remember. Then I was in his kitchen. I was paralyzed. I smelled meat cooking. He cut it off before I came to.
Hold on, quiet. There's a car coming.
Exterior farmhouse night. Marv is visible at the window, straining at the bars as a black stretched limo pulls up to the drive and stops. Its horn honks. Marv is straining to see who's in the limo as Kevin pops into view, very close.
Kevin, come quickly.
Wider, and Marv is roaring with rage and shaking the bars and bellowing as Kevin runs to the limo and gets in. The limo drives away. Marv's bellow echoes as we pull back and away. Exterior heliport night. A squad of armored cops scramble aboard a police helicopter. A police captain wearing a trench coat boards the forward cabin. Helicopter takes off. Exterior farm night. A deep thud echoes across the barren place. The hatchet sits undisturbed in the stump. Another thud. Interior kitchen. Simple, Spartan. Another thud. Glasses on the shelf rattle. Interior stairwell. Another thud. It shakes farm tools held by hooks to the stairwell wall. Interior laundry room night. Another thud. It shakes a box of detergent on the washer. At the doorway, another thud. It shakes a 2x4 that serves as a deadbolt for the huge steel door. Interior basement night. On Lucille. She looks like she's watching a tennis match, her eyes tracking horizontal movements. She follows whatever she's following in the opposite direction. Another thud. Marv on his back, looking up, determined. Marv rises and flings himself at the steel door. Another thud as he hits it. He falls backwards across the floor. Lucille lights another cigarette. Her expression shows that she's been watching this action for a while.
Oh,
What was that, Lucille?
forgot my. I don't think it's working, Marv.
Marv rises and charges the door. Another thud. He falls back across the floor. He rises, charges. Interior laundry room night. Another thud. A screw shakes at the lock of the door. At the washer, another thud. The box of detergent falls on its side. Interior basement. Marv throws himself at the door. Interior stairwell. Another thud. A pair of lawn shears falls from the hook. Interior basement. Marv flies through the air, roaring. Interior kitchen. Another thud. Glass clatter and the crash to the floor. Interior laundry room. Another thud. Cracks around the screw now. Interior basement. Lucille watches, impassive as Marv leaps at the door.
That's what we're supposed to call them anyway.
You've got to turn yourself over.
Are you crazy?
No, you are. Remember? Give it up, Marv. It's the only way.
They didn't come to arrest me, kid.
You're getting confused again.
Right this minute, I know exactly what I'm doing and exactly who to do it to.
Lucille lets go of him and moves out of sight. Marv stares out, gun ready. In the distance, a cop runs from the house. He speaks to the captain. The captain gestures to the men to fan out. At the edge of the forest, Marv's back is to Lucille as she lifts a rock. She slams the rock into the back of Marv's skull. Marv sinks to his knees, and he looks at her, groggy.
Not gonna get either of us killed, Marv.
Wham! She hits him across the temple with the rock. He falls across the ground. She grabs the gun and dashes off. As Marv struggles to rise, she's gone by the time he gets to his feet. She staggers off and away. Into the woods, Marv is a hulking silhouette moving against the trees, a predator. In the yard, the captain whirls and trains a machine pistol at Lucille as she approaches. He keeps the gun trained at her stomach.
No, don't shoot. I'm his parole officer.
Where is he?
He's nearby. He's unconscious and unarmed.
She hands the captain Marv's gun. Thank you, ma'am. Where exactly is he?
Show you.
She heads towards the forest. Captain gestures the cops to join him and follows her. He keeps his machine pistol trained at her back. Behind the house, Marv's shadow crawls across the ground as he moves. He pauses at the stump, grabs the hatchet, flips the hatchet into the air, and catches it one-handed. At the edge of the forest, Lucille leads the captain to the spot where she left Marv. He is, of course, gone. As the cops look around...
It was right here. God, what is his skull made of?
Fan out. Shoot to kill.
I gave you his gun. There's no reason for you to kill him.
There's every reason, ma'am. Once he's told us who else he's spoken to.
What are you saying?
The captain fires his machine pistol as Lucille jerks as the bullets rip across her, perforating the coat. In the yard, Marv runs, holding the hatchet, reacting in horror at the sound of another machine gun burst. In the forest, the captain fires another burst at Lucille as she clings helplessly to a tree. She falls away. Lucille sprawls face first onto the ground. Captain steps over and fires. Close shot on Lucille's eyes. They're just as dead as her eyes are dead as she jerks into bullets. Cops approach the captain.
Excuse me, Captain. We've checked the area and there's no sign of him.
Marv appears behind the cop and throws his arm around the cop's neck.
Here's a sign.
Marv brings the hatchet up between the cop's legs. Marv kicks the cop into another, flattening him. The captain fires, missing Marv and blowing a chunk out of a tree as Marv leaps atop cop number 2 and buries the hatchet in his face. Cops converge, looking for a clear shot as Marv moves like lightning, chopping them down one by one. The captain keeps firing. He hits one of his own men and keeps firing anyway. Marv swings the hatchet, and the cop's head rolls across the grass to stop at the captain's feet. Marv pauses, staring at the barrel of the captain's machine pistol, point-blank range. The captain takes careful aim and pulls the trigger. Click. Empty. Dead cops lie everywhere. Only Marv and the captain are standing. Marv grabs the captain by the lapel. Marv looks him over and glances down. Close shot on Lucille. Her lovely face still carries the horror of her murder. Marv's eyes burn bloodshot red as he ever so slightly shifts his glance. Lucille's back, the back of her coat, is shredded by exit wounds. Marv shoves his face very close to the captain's. His voice is a hiss.
That is one damn fine coat you're wearing.
A lightning bolt streaks the sky, silent. Light rain begins to fall. The captain's coat is draped neatly over a fence post. Droplets of rain strike it and dribble off. Low roll of thunder, crunching sounds, a moan. The captain is handcuffed to a rusty old tractor. The captain has been terribly beaten. One of his legs is bent all wrong. The sledgehammer drops to the ground in front of him. Marv is stripped to the waist, wiping blood from his arms and chest with his shirt.
Now you gotta come clean, or do I have to go back to using the hatchet again?
He tosses his shirt away and picks up the hatchet.
I mean, look at this thing. It's a fine hatchet, but I've been using it in ways you shouldn't, and it's just about lost its edge.
You're in way over your head, you stupid bastard.
Yeah, people keep telling me that.
Anybody tell you about Roark? Marv is shaken. This time he knows it's true. Captain chuckles. I'm afraid I can't fill you in on any of the fine details. All I know is that the order, what the order was and where it came from. Roark wants you dead. And that means you're dead. The captain begins to laugh. Marv picks up the sledgehammer and swings it. Crunch. It silences the captain. A lightning bolt rips across the sky, blinding. The crack of thunder right on time with it. The storm's right on top of us, and it's a big one. Rain falls, a torrent. Exterior bridge, night. Blinding rain falls. Marv walks. His eyes are hollow, haunted.
Roark. Damn it. I'm as good as dead.
He pauses to pull out a pack of cigarettes, and his hands shake. A couple of cigarettes fall to the ground. On Marv as his eyes dart, wild. Flashback of Goldie's fingers catch on the crucifix on Marv's neck. Goldie has a moment of fear, staring at it. Back to Marv, his eyes stare straight at camera with growing determination.
You were scared too, weren't you, Goldie? You were looking for protection, and you paid for it with your body and more. Love. Wildfire, making me feel like a king. Like a damn white knight, like a hero. What a laugh.
He tries again with the cigarettes. This time his hands don't shake.
Damn it. I owe you, and I'm gonna pay up.
We pull up and away as Marv stares at the rain. Exterior square day, a huge statue of Cardinal Roark looms, arms raised. A voice rings out, stentorian.
Patrick Henry Roark?
At the base of the statue, a schoolteacher lecturing young children in school uniforms.
His ancestors built Basin City from the dusty desert, and he is the city's heart and soul and consequence.
Conscience. The schoolteacher glances nervously, noticing Marv, who approaches, hands in pockets. He looks pretty creepy.
Patrick Henry Roark, man of the cloth, war hero in the medical corps, philanthropist, educator. He could have become president, but he chose to serve God.
Yeah, and along the way, he just happened to become the most powerful man in the state. He's brought down mayors and gotten governors elected.
Excuse me, sir, there are children present.
And here he's gonna get killed in the name of a dead hooker.
Sir?
I'm getting used to the idea. More and more I like it, the sound of it.
He pulls his gun out. Schoolteacher recoils in terror as Marv fires the gun. The Roark statue a perfect shot between the statue's eyes. Marv bursts out laughing. He kisses the barrel of the gun.
Good girl. Good girl.
Marv collects himself and looks around. Terrified kids huddle, fearful. A little girl cries. Marv matches their looks of terror with one of inward horror. He runs off. Exterior trestle, day. A locomotive roars straight at camera, its roar deafening. Marv sits among the shaken beams of the trestle as the train roars by overhead, a haunted man. Interior saloon day. Bartender Josie brings a drink to Marv and his companion, an old wino, unshaven, ugly, a hopeless drunk. Marv speaks frantically.
It hit me like a kick in the nuts. What if I'm wrong? What if I imagined all of it from Goldie to Roark?
The wino's already emptied his glass. He waves at it in a plea.
This damn fine stuff here.
Marv gestures to Josie and slides more money across the table to her.
One more over here, Josie.
She brings the wino another drink.
You better be sure about what you're doing, boy. Can't kill a man without knowing for sure he ought to.
Can't figure out how to make sure. I don't know where to look.
Hank, boy, never been as dumb as you think you are. It's Dame you've been talking about.
Goldie. Name was Goldie.
Well, there's a place to start. She was a hooker, right?
That's what Lucille said.
Go to Old Town. She was a hooker. She got friends there. Maybe even family. Hell, I'll go with you. Along the way, maybe we get some of what you got the other night, huh?
Marv rises.
I'll go alone. Thanks anyway.
You know, boy, I hate to ask this, but I'm still in between jobs.
Marv hands him some money.
How's your mother doing these days?
Mom's fine. You should call her sometime, Dad.
Exterior Old Town establishing day. Sin City's version of Storyville in New Orleans, a place of old, low buildings of cobblestones and antique lampposts and drunken mornings and sweaty sex. Hookers of every style abound, outrageous, provocative work clothes, pickup trucks prowl. Cowboys look for a good time, and if they've got the cash, they'll find it here. Cheri, a small, sweet young lady of the night, she freshens up her lipstick, moving to a saloon window as a mirror. In the mirror, the shadowed figure of Marv approaches.
Oh my goodness. You're a big one.
She turns, flashing a professional smile. The smile fades. A close shot on Marv. His monstrous face does its best not to be frightening. It fails.
Don't run off. I just need to talk.
Cheri slides past Marv and starts walking away. Marv follows her, his hands out in a plea.
Sorry, I don't do talk jobs.
I don't mean like that. I'm just looking for information. I got money. I can pay.
I don't do cops either.
I'm no cop. This is private.
She whirls, confronting him. She produces a small whistle.
Keep it private. You see this? I blow it and you'll get a bullet through your brain and you'll never know where it came from.
I'm just trying to find out about one of your girls. She got killed. Her name was Goldie.
Cheri turns her back on Marv to hide her shock. She recognizes the name. Marv gives up, turning away himself.
Okay, I didn't mean to be rude.
Now she's the one doing the following.
No, wait. I was the one being rude. I'm sorry.
Did you know Goldie?
I'm not sure. I think I might have met a Goldie once.
Well, thanks anyway.
Now she scrolls around in front of him, stopping him.
Tell you what. We'll get you a beer and I'll make a couple calls and see what I can find out.
On Marv as he smiles innocently. The perfect dupe.
That's really nice of you. I really appreciate it.
Interior saloon day. A barmaid carries a load of drinks past Marv at the bar. She passes Cheri, who's huddled nervously at a payphone.
Yes, I'm sure. It's him. He even asked about Goldie.
She sneaks a glance over her shoulder at Marv. He waves and smiles and sips his beer. Cheri turns, cups her hand over the receiver.
Yeah, I got it. Okay.
At the bar, Marv turns as Cheri saunters up, all smiles.
I think I found somebody who can help you. It's right around the corner. We can walk.
Can't get over how nice you're being about this.
Exterior brothel day. Old Victorian style. Cheri and Marv cross the street and head up to the stoop. Interior hallway. Thick carpets, antique nude photographs on the wall. It's easy to figure out what this place is used for. Cheri leads Marv towards the door. Interior bedroom. The room is dark, but desert sunlight cuts shafts across the room from tall draped windows. Cheri enters first. Marv follows.
You sure this is the right room?
Cheri whirls to face Marv, snarling.
I'm sure, you son of a bitch.
Cheri kicks Marv in the groin. A baseball bat slams down on Marv's head. Marv whirls, fists ready, then hesitates, startled, seeing Marlene, a beautiful hooker wielding the bat with confidence. She slams the bat across Marv's face. Marv staggers as dominatrix Gail steps up behind him with a bat. Wham! She clubs him. Marv pivots, snatching the bat from Gail as Heidi, yet another hooker, slams a bat across his head. High angle, Marv drops to his knees and the hookers converge. At one window, Wendy emerges from the silhouette, glaring with hatred. Close shot on Marv, bewildered, stunned. His eyes widen.
No, no, you can't be Goldie. You can't. Goldie's dead.
Wendy delivers a beautifully executed spinning kick, driving the spiked heel of her shoe at Marv's temple. Blackness. Marv spins across the blackness. He vanishes out of sight, and in the blackness, a sudden splashing sound. Coughing. Marv's POV. Gail steps back from him, a bucket of water in her hands. Wendy nods to her. Gail swings the bucket. Water fills frame. Extreme close-up on Marv as his eyes flicker open. He's drenched with water. Water splashes over him again. He coughs, tries to move, but he can't. Marv's hands are bound to the back of the chair by a rope tied in an elaborate knot. The women surround Marv. He's stripped to the waist and bound to the chair. Sunlight still streams through the window. He's in the same room, and it's still daytime. He's staring at Wendy, and he's babbling like an idiot.
That's okay, Goldie. Just do whatever you want to with me. It doesn't matter because you aren't here and I'm not here. Right now, I'm probably lying in a gutter someplace talking to myself.
Wendy stalks to Marv and pistol whips him, slamming the barrel against his face. Marv spits a tooth from his bloody mouth and bubbles with laughter.
You bastard.
He's crazy. He's faking it. Hit him again, Wendy. Harder.
Crack. The barrel slams across Marv's face.
You shouldn't hit me that way, Goldie, with the barrel, I mean. You'll knock it out of whack. If you're going to pistol whip somebody, do it right. Use the handle.
Crack. Marv's boots leave the floor as the chair is rocked by the impact. Marv rocks back forward, his battered face suddenly curious.
Wait a minute. Just hold on a sec. Why'd she call you Wendy?
Because that's my name, you ape. Goldie was my sister. My twin sister.
I guess she was the nice one.
Crack, crack, crack.
Harder.
Her face an inch from his.
You're gonna die, mister. But first you're gonna talk. Goldie and the other 6, where are they? What did you do to them?
Got it all wrong. Take a look at this mug. Would any of you let me get close enough to you to kill you?
Glances from one woman to the next. He's got a point.
I'll bet the cops didn't do a damn thing about those other girls, did they? But once they had me for a fall guy, they showed up guns blazing. You kill me and you're doing the real killer a great big fat favor, so go ahead. Shoot me now or get the hell out of my way.
Cheri bites her lip. Wendy turns her back to him and crosses to the window. She sets her pistol on the end table. Gail slumps to her chair, disappointed.
Nuts.
All react in shock as Marv stands up, the ropes falling away, unbound.
Okay, I'm glad we got all that sorted out.
No. I tied those knots. And that's my specialty.
Wendy stares at Marv with new eyes as he fires up a cigarette.
You sat there and took it, when you could have taken my gun away from me anytime you wanted.
Sure, but I probably would have had to paste you one. And I don't hurt girls.
Interior bathroom, night. The medicine cabinet mirror, sounds of running water, a splash. Marv's face rises into view in reflection. It's covered with cuts and welts. One eye is closed and a massive bruise. His lip is split horribly.
Looking good, Marv.
He spits. At the sink, Marv's bloody spit strikes the sink a sink streaked and spotted with his blood. It swirls down the drain. At the doorway, Wendy appears. She pauses, staring at Marv's back. His broad, muscular back is a roadmap of scars from 100 horrid battles. This guy has been keel-hauled by life. In the mirror, Marv looks up to see Wendy's reflection.
You need to use the John? I can wait.
The bathroom is elegant and Victorian. Wendy crosses the room to come to Marv's side.
No, I just wanted to apologize.
That's okay. You was just doing what you thought you ought to.
Wendy picks up a bottle of peroxide and wets a washcloth with it. She begins dabbing at his face. Her movements are gentle and intimate. Marv can't take his eyes off her.
Here, let me help. This'll sting. You'll need a doctor for that lip.
Nah, just get me a needle and thread. I can take care of it.
Marv tracks her movements as she gets needle and thread from a drawer and brings them back. Marv tries to thread the needle and fumbles, stabbing himself. She takes it from him. She threads the needle. Still he stares.
Who was it, Marv? Who killed Goldie?
Barn boy named Kevin, but it was Roark who ordered it, Cardinal Roark.
Wendy mouths a silent whistle.
I know that sounds crazy.
No, it doesn't. Goldie worked the clergy.
Marv turns back to the mirror and lets out and gets to work on his lip. He pauses, noticing that Wendy has not left.
How do you expect to get out of this alive?
I don't.
Marv gets back to work on his lip. Wendy stares at him wide-eyed. Interior bedroom day. The women rise from chairs and turn from windows as bootsteps approach. In the doorway, backlit, gigantic, and confident, Marv pulls the belt tight on his trench coat.
Need a pair of handcuffs.
What style you want? I got a collection.
Just give him the ones you got with you, Gail.
Gail shrugs and snaps a stylish pair of handcuffs from her belt and tosses it. The handcuffs tumble through the air, gleaming. Marv catches them.
Thanks. I'm also gonna need a car.
Wendy pulls her coat on and leads the way to the door.
You've got a car and a driver. Come on.
Interior alley day. Marv and Wendy walk down a narrow alley of crumbling brick and cobblestone towards her Porsche.
This ain't no kind of work for a lady.
She was my sister. I'm in this till the end.
Pretty steamed, aren't you? You seeing red.
You're damn right I am.
Marv whirls, holding Wendy by her shoulders.
That's all wrong. You don't go in hot when you kill him. You go in cold, ice cold. You go in careful.
I'm going with you.
That's not smart. There's no reason for you to get yourself killed.
Mister, you need Goldie for a couple of hours. I came out of the goddamn womb with her. You can bet I'm ready to die just like you are.
You're coming along, you're gonna do what I say. Exactly what I say. It doesn't matter if you disagree with it or if you think it's crazy. We got no room for mistakes.
He releases her and they walk together.
Especially since I'm up against a guy who can kick my butt from here to Sunday.
Marv abruptly stumbles and drops to one knee. Wendy helps him rise.
What is it?
Nothing, just a little tired.
How long has it been since you slept?
Counting being knocked out, I don't know, a few days, but I'm okay.
The hell you are. Come on. I could use a nap too.
Not around here, they'll be looking for me.
I know a place. Come on.
She guides him towards the car.
It'll be great to get out of these clothes anyway. Beating you up made me all sweaty.
Yeah, I can tell.
Well, pardon me.
No, it's nice.
Extreme close angle on Marv. He lies sleeping restlessly. A soft, womanly sigh is heard. Marv's eyes snap open, wide awake. His eyes move to the side. Consternation twists his features as we pull away to a high angle. It's a bedroom somewhere. Marv is stretched across the couch, wearing only his boxer shorts. In the bed nearby lies Wendy, stripped to her underclothes, the sunlight streaming through the blinds to sculpt her figure. Wendy shifts and turns, sighing in her sleep. Marv is transfixed, all sense of reality slipping away. At a window, sunlight creeps through the blinds and silhouettes Marv as he stands, moving like a somnambulant. He leans down out of frame.
Goldie. Goldie, baby.
A slap is heard.
Marv, no.
Silhouette of Marv jerks back into frame, rubbing his cheek, his free hand gesturing his embarrassment.
I'm sorry, Wendy.
It's all right, Marv. Go back to the couch. Now.
I'm really sorry. I get confused sometimes.
It's okay, Marv. Get some sleep.
Marv's silhouette moves away from the window. Exterior street night. Wendy's Porsche fishtails across the street. Closer, Wendy drives. Marv tries to keep from looking at her.
Where's this farm you were talking about?
First things first. You got a credit card?
All of them. Why?
Nah, it's better to use cash. You got cash?
Wendy casually produces a thick roll of bills.
Good. Find me a hardware store and keep to the side streets.
She tosses him a curious glance and shrugs. Marv fishes through his pockets. He pulls a cigarette pack out and crushes it.
Ah, hell. You got any smokes?
Wendy lights two and hands him one, just as Goldie had before, her gestures identical to Goldie's. Marv stares at the lipstick on the cigarette. Then he smokes it, turning to look away from Wendy. Wendy's Porsche cuts off a Jeep and jumps a median and tears off on away. Interior hardware store night. On the counter, 2-foot links of plastic tubing, a huge spool of nasty razor wire, and sectioned metal gloves. Register rings away. Marv's hand slams down a hacksaw. The cheerful clerk looks up from the register, eager to please.
Beefing up in all the home security, huh?
Close up on Marv.
You shouldn't poke your nose into people's private business.
Exterior mountain road night. Wendy's Porsche roars up the hill as we catch up with it. The city drops away from them. Wendy eyes Marv, nervous.
I don't suppose you're going to tell me what you're planning to do with all that stuff.
Nothing nice. Pull over at the next gas station.
But the tank's full. Oh. Never mind, I asked.
And we lose the Porsche as it roars away. Exterior gas station night. Marv, hauling a 5-gallon gasoline can, strides hastily across the lot towards Wendy, who waits, leaning across the hood, her coat open to the desert wind.
Better get moving. I think that guy back there recognized me.
You do kind of stand out.
Marv looks over his shoulder at her as he lifts the lid of the trunk.
Look who's talking. You're hanging out all over the place. You gotta tie up that belt. It isn't fair.
At the trunk, Marv shoves the gas tank in the trunk amidst the tools he bought. The moon is full and bright, and a wolf howls. The wolf, Marv clobbered, finishes its howl and glares, eyes red. Exterior forest night. Wendy's Porsche slides to a stop in the tall grass. Wendy slides from the car and comes around to Marv, who's at the trunk. At the trunk, Marv pulls out the gloves and grabs the razor wire and the gas can. As he moves away, the camera lingers on the hacksaw and the plastic tubing. He's left them in the trunk. Trunk slams closed.
Stay here. If I'm not back in 20 minutes, get the hell out of here. Don't look back. And I don't want any arguments from you either.
No arguments. You're the boss. You're in charge.
Marv pauses, remembering something.
Got a handkerchief?
Wendy moves close to Marv, eyes glistening. She pulls a sink handkerchief from her coat and slides it into Marv's pocket.
Anything you want. Just kill him for me, Marv. Kill him good.
I won't let you down, Goldie. I promised.
She kisses him on the cheek.
Good hunting.
Marv marches off into the forest, hauling his gear. The old windmill we saw earlier, it clacks briefly and goes still. Not much wind tonight. At the forest edge, the farm is visible, silent and dark. A silhouette moves along the bushes. A tiny creaking sound is heard. Creak? A length of razor wire snaps taut, gleaming, vicious. Close angle at a tree. Creak! The razor wire strapped around the tree bites into the bark. Marv works low to the ground, pulling the spool, laying razor wire. He sets the spool down. A net of razor wire stretches calf high. Marv squats in the middle of it, a gas can at his side. He pulls out Wendy's handkerchief. Close on Marv as he brings the handkerchief to his nose. That angel smell. His eyes go red, brimming with tears. The handkerchief flutters through the air to drape across the length of razor wire. A mild breeze tugs at it. The handkerchief flutters off, cut in half. This stuff is sharp. Marv picks up one half of the handkerchief and stuffs it into an opening of the gas can. In the yard, Marv runs silently across the yard, hauling the gas can. He kneels, staring at the farmhouse. A single window is lit. Kevin's silhouette moves across it. Interior kitchen. Kevin pulls open the drawer to the refrigerator. We really don't want to see what kind of midnight snack he's about to fix. Close angle on Marv, who pulls out a cigarette lighter and brings it to the handkerchief. The fire catches. Wider as Marv runs across the yard and heaves the gas can into the air. The gas can tumbles end over end through the air. Glass shatters as the gas can crashes through the window. Kevin takes the rest of the window with him as he crashes outwards, arms covering his face. High angle, boom. Flame blows out the window on the house as the gas can goes up inside. Kevin tumbles end over end across the dirt, patches of flame on his shirt. He rises, and he's still smiling that damn smile. At the forest edge, Marv runs backwards, drawing his gun, backstepping neatly over the razor wire.
Like that, Kevin? I got plenty more. Come and get it.
Marv fires. In the yard, Kevin charges, ducking and dodging as bullets tear the dirt and whiz past. In the forest, Marv is small among the trees, firing again. Razor wire looms in the foreground, a trap. In the yard, Kevin bounds, flipping as more bullets tear to the ground. In the forest, Marv slips out of his trench coat, shouting.
Come on, boy. Don't be scared now.
Close shot, Marv pulls out handcuffs from his pocket. He snaps one cuff close on his own wrist. Kevin runs straight at the camera. Razor wire looms in the foreground. Does he see it? At the last possible moment, Kevin's feet leave the ground. Kevin flips through the air with ease. Kevin's feet land and hopscotch across the razor wire trap with incredible speed and skill. Marv's coat catches Kevin full in the face. Marv tackles Kevin to the ground in a tangle of a coat. They tumble. Marv swings a fist and it hits a rock as Kevin rolls away. Kevin tosses off the coat and lifts Marv from the ground with a kick to the groin. Kevin's feet double kick Marv in the face. Marv sprawls to the ground, dazed. Marv's POV as Kevin appears in mid-leap, high above, descending fast, 1 foot streaking straight at camera to fill frame. Crunch. Wider. Marv rolls over and gets on his hands and knees, coughing blood. Kevin circles, his blank expression unchanged. Close shot on Marv, his face is hamburger.
Is that the best you can do, creep?
Kevin's foot enters the frame to smash Marv's face again. Marv crashes against a tree, shaking it. Kevin steps in and rakes Marv across the face. Marv clutches at Kevin, ducks. Kevin spin kicks Marv, sending him sprawling. Marv lies unmoving, apparently unconscious. Kevin saunters towards him, calm. Marv is faking unconscious. His hands are preparing for something with the handcuffs. Kevin studies Marv. He raises one hand, talons ready to deliver the death blow, and whirls the sound of a car engine approaching, headlights washing over the scene. Wendy's Porsche rumbles across uneven terrain towards Kevin. Kevin stands calm as ever. Wendy bounces and steers as she drives one-handed and fires her pistol. On Kevin, as the bullet cuts a scarlet streak across his cheek, he breaks into a run. On Marv, his eyes snap open, alarmed. He begins to rise. Wendy fires and fires, eyes widening in fear as Kevin executes an incredible triple flip through the air. Wendy steers wildly as Kevin lands on the hood of the Porsche. Kevin reaches towards Wendy's face, and the front wheel of the Porsche hits a rock and bounces. The Porsche topples on its side and slides into a tree, tossing Kevin. Wendy, her head hits a rock. She lies still. A shadow falls across her. Kevin kneels into frame. He cradles her, strokes her hair, and she moans, unconscious but alive. Kevin's hand rises, poised to strike, nails razor sharp. But Marv's hand comes out of nowhere, snapping a cuff on Kevin's wrist. Marv yanks Kevin to his feet, spinning him around. The two are cuffed wrist to wrist, and Marv is laughing.
I got you, you bastard. Let's see you hop around now.
Kevin kicks. The cuffs hold strong as the links of the chain are pulled tight. Another kick, but Marv keeps grinning. He pulls his fist back and drives a powerhouse punch to Kevin's face. Kevin drops like a stone. Close shot on Kevin, smiling blandly even though he's unconscious. One lens of the glasses are shattered. Marv, victorious. Marv stands, Kevin dangling from him. Marv is unmoving except for the heaving of his chest. The wolf against the sky, his nostrils flare. It clambers down the hillside, growling. In the woods, Wendy is slumped unconscious in her now upright Porsche. Crickets chirp.
Boy, am I bushed. And it wasn't our fight that wore me out either. It was all that sawing and tying when I was fixing the tourniquets.
A ghastly tableau. Marv's coat hangs neatly from a branch. Marv sits, a bloody hacksaw in one hand, facing what's left of Kevin. Kevin's arm and legs are stacked like cord wood. Kevin, his stump secured by plastic tubing, tied tight, is leaned against a tree. And still, his expression has not changed.
It's a good thing I brought along some extra ones. A lot of them broke. Could have been a mess around here. Still, I gotta admit there was a spurt or two.
Marv sets the saw down and moves to kneel close to Kevin. Intimate.
Hell, I might as well come clean. I wanted a spurt or two to get the scent in the air, to get a friend of yours to come running.
The wolf lumbers into view, looks the situation over. It growls at Marv. Marv's hands undo one of the tourniquets at the stump of Kevin's leg. Wider as the wolf moves towards Kevin as Marv sits back and lights up a cigarette. Kevin stares forward, smiling blandly as the wolf growl grows. Chomp. Kevin's head jerks slightly, sound of a wolf eating. Marv looking closely at the off-screen horror.
Good dog. Good dog.
Exterior diner night. Porsche pulls into the lot. Marv hops from it and moves to the payphone mounted by the door. He shoves a quarter in and freezes. He turns his back as a cop exits the diner. Cop gives Marv a glance and moves on. Marv punches in a number. Interior nightclub night. Nancy moves across the stage, having a great time. The crowd whoops and applauds. Backstage, the applause continues. Burly transsexual Kadie holds up a receiver of a phone and calls out as Nancy appears.
Nancy, it's for you. It's Marv. He says it's important.
Nancy slides into a robe and takes the receiver, cupping it in her hand.
How's it sound? Good. A little too good.
Exterior house night in the hills overlooking Sin City. Marv pulls the Porsche up. High angle as Nancy appears in the doorway, as Marv takes the steps two at a time, carrying Wendy in his arms effortlessly.
Hi, Nancy. Got any beers?
Sure. Like I'd have you over without making sure I got some. Come on in.
At the doorway, Nancy steps aside as Marv carries Wendy in. Nancy studies Marv's beat-up face, concerned. Marv beams, happy, excited.
This is big trouble, isn't it?
It's the worst, kid. It's great.
Interior living room. Marv chugs a beer and sets down on the coffee table next to four empties. Wendy is stretched out on the couch, still unconscious. Nancy is bandaging Marv's various cuts.
You're not having any more trouble with that frat boy, are you?
He's still in the hospital. And I see you're still looking out for the ladies.
Wendy moans and stirs but doesn't come out of it yet. Marv gently sweeps her hair from her eyes.
This one's got to get out of town. She could get killed if she doesn't.
Nancy watches and worries as Marv goes to the kitchen and grabs another beer from the refrigerator. Unasked questions hang in the air.
She'll kick up a fuss and want to stay, but tell her I said she owes me one. It's not true, but she'll believe it.
What about you? Are you leaving town?
Marv pops the cap off a beer with his thumb and grins.
Hell no. I like it here.
Close shot on Nancy. She doesn't like the sound of that. At the doorway, Marv pulls his coat on. Nancy follows.
I really appreciate you taking care of her, Nancy.
You've got some people who care about you, Marv. You be careful.
Marv nods, then pauses, remembering something.
You're still living with that guy, aren't you?
Sure. He's at work right now.
Your boyfriend, he's a bowler, right?
Yeah?
Need a bowling bag.
You need a bowling bag.
Yeah, if it's not too much trouble.
He'll want it back.
No, he won't.
Exterior house night. At the Porsche, Marv walks to the trunk, carrying an empty bowling bag. He opens the trunk. The trunk lid obscures what he's doing. In the car, Marv sits behind the wheel, plunking the bowling bag on the empty seat next to him. Now there's something in it.
One more to go, Goldie, the big one.
He starts the engine and kicks it into gear and screeches out of frame. Exterior desert night. The Porsche rolls down a highway. Close shot on Marv as he drives. He crushes out a cigarette. His fingers move to play with the pewter crucifix at his neck.
You make me feel safe.
Low angle on a stone crucifix that looms huge against the night sky. A cop in helmet and body armor moves into frame, looks up, and waves. A terracotta tiled roof. Another cop standing atop the roof returns the wave and turns, machine pistol hung by a strap on his shoulder. Exterior mission establishing night. An old Spanish mission nestled in woodland lit by moonlight. We pull back to reveal a mountain road overlooking the mission. The Porsche pulls onto the shoulder. Marv gets out. Exterior hill night. Marv runs down the hill past wild cactus configurations. The bowling bag slung across his shoulder. Silent. A cactus of bizarre beauty lit by moonlight. Marv emerges from behind the cactus, pauses, and scans the situation. At the gate, an armored cop finishes his cigarettes and crushes it beneath his boot. He looks about. The crucifix looms. At the gate, the cop looks nervous. He leans out and stuffs the cigarette butt into his pocket. He rises as Marv's hand enters the frame to grab his head and wrench to the side. Crack. Wider, Marv hauls the dead cop to the cacti and tosses him into hiding. At the top of the gate, a high arch at the top level of the mission. Grunts are heard. Marv enters the frame, clambers atop the arch. He leaps into space. Terracotta roof, the cop up there turns out a thump. Close shot as a shadow falls across the suddenly terrified face of the cop. Long shot looking through the belfry. An ancient bell looms silent as Marv and the cop struggle on the roof. The struggle is ended with the recognizable crunch of bone. At Marv's feet, terracotta tiles slide away, throwing him off balance. Marv rights himself, not falling. The tiles slide from the roof and fall through space. At the crucifix, the cop whirls at the sound of a crash. He runs off. In the courtyard, terracotta tiles lie shattered. Cop rounds a corner, looks at the tiles, looks up. He raises his gun. Too late. Cop's POV as Marv drops from the roof right at camera, his smile maniacal. In the courtyard, Marv lands on the cop, smashing him against the stone floor of the courtyard. At a building, in the open area of the pillars and a stone floor, moonlight casts long shadows. A lone cop walks, ready for trouble. Close angle on the cop, he whirls the sound of a grunt, and Marv's fist enters the frame to shatter his visor and smash into his nose. Marv steps over the sprawled cop and dashes away. Interior stairwell. Worn stone stairs. Marv takes them 3 at a time, running. Interior hallway. A monk whirls, startled as Marv rounds a corner, running. The monk reaches into his robe for a machine pistol. Too late. Marv charges forward. Wham! The monk crashes against the wall, bloodied. He slides down the wall unconscious. Interior chamber. Small, Spartan, dark. The door creaks open. A shaft of light falls across a sleeping figure of Cardinal Roark. Roark stirs, fuzzy at a voice.
Roark.
Marv stands at the door, hit by the harsh light from the hallway.
Patrick Henry Roark.
Roark rubs his eyes, waking.
Evan? Is that you, boy?
Marv produces the bowling bag and pulls Kevin's head from it.
Well, kinda. What's left of him anyways. The dog ate the rest.
Roark sits bolt upright in his bed, eyes wide. We see that he is a tiny man, a little naked troll. Marv drops Kevin's head and lets it roll across the floor.
I just wanted to make sure you knew it was me and that I was serious.
Marv crosses to light a lamp on the table, bringing subdued light to the room.
No offense, but I was expecting you to be a much bigger guy.
Roark stares down, quivering, building towards a scream. Marv finds a seat opposite Roark and levels a gun at Roark's stomach.
Don't scream or I'll plug you.
Roark drops to his knees and picks up Kevin's head, staring at it, tears in his eyes. Marv fires up a cigarette.
Dear Lord, you monster. You monster.
Hey, at least I don't go around eating people.
You don't understand him. You don't know anything about him.
I understand you like to eat people.
You don't know anything. You probably think he couldn't talk, don't you?
Roark cradles the head in his arms, rocking it side to side.
You're wrong about that. He had a voice like an angel, but he spoke only to me, and now he's dead, all because of one stupid whore.
Marv thumbs the hammer back on the gun.
Her name was Goldie, and it's not a real good idea to talk about her that way while I'm around.
If you're going to shoot me, shoot me.
You should be so lucky.
What the hell do you want?
Answers. Maybe I'm missing something, but you got a maid card. I mean, somebody put up a statue of you right in the middle of town, and everybody knows how rich you are. What use you got for some farm boy who eats people?
He wasn't some garden variety psychopath. He was tortured soul. When first he gave confession, he was tormented by guilt.
Roark paces back and forth across the room.
But the eating, it filled him with white light, with love for every living thing. Tearful, he swore to me that he felt the touch of God Almighty. As the years passed, I began to envy him.
Roark whirls to glare at Marv.
Don't you dare look at me that way. You don't know. You just don't know.
I know it's pretty damn weird to eat people.
He didn't just eat their bodies, you pig. He ate their souls. He loved them in a way that was absolute and clean and perfect.
And you joined in.
Yes, and everything he told me, it was true. The gates of heaven opened wide, and I felt love, endless, glorious love.
I don't think the ladies you had for dinner would have agreed with you about that.
The women were nothing. Whores, nobody missed them. Nobody cared. And then that one girl, your Goldie, almost ruined everything. She must have suspected something. Seen one of them get into my limousine and followed us. Kevin was engrossed when she found us. She escaped. She stayed in public places, then with you.
Then Kevin killed her and you called the cops on me.
You were maddening. You wouldn't be caught. You wouldn't stop.
Roark is bawling like a baby.
And now Kevin is dead. You're going to kill him. Well, that'll give you any satisfaction, my son. Murdering a helpless old man.
The killing? Nah, no satisfaction. But everything up until the killing will be a gas.
Marv rises. He cracks his knuckles.
Now you can scream now if you want to.
Roark opens his mouth to scream as Marv's hands streak towards him. In the courtyard, screams echoes. A cop comes running from the distance. He finds the dead cop sprawled, starts speaking into his walkie-talkie. Interior chamber. Marv wrestles with Roark's flailing hands. Blood spurts across his face. The angle's too tight for us to see what he's doing. We should be grateful for this. Scream continues, then breaks into a moan.
You thought you were better than bums like me. You thought you were better than Goldie? You're just like us, pal. You got ribs and guts in the works. See? See?
At the crucifix, several cops come running. Scream rises again. Interior chamber, back to Marv. The screams stop, tight angle, and Marv pauses.
You still with me?
No more God. I'm begging you. Have mercy.
Hell no.
A stretch of courtyard. Scream rises again, worse than before. A dozen cops run. Interior stairwell. Dozens of cops rush up, guns ready. Scream continues. Interior hallway. Cops charge past the downed monk and charge towards the door. Scream continues and stops for the final time. Interior chamber, tight angle. Roark gurgles his last out of frame. Marv turns, holding up Roark's heart as a thunderous crash is heard. In the doorway, the cops pause for a beat, horrified by what they see. Then they open fire with abandon. Marv falls against the wall as the bullets rip across his chest. Gunfire stops. Marv falls face first to the floor with a thud that seems to shake the building. A cop moves up and they turn Marv over. He shouts over his shoulder.
Oh, Christ, he's still alive.
Jerk. You should have shot me in the head. And enough times to make sure.
Marv's POV. The cop moves closer, sneering, malicious.
You're going to wish we had you, son of a bitch.
Cut to black. Only silence and blackness. Then a cardiogram red line scrawls across the screen. It jumps in time with the sound of a single heartbeat, loud as thunder. Marv's POV. We're in an operating room, staring at the blinding lights above. A surgical team scurries around. Marv's hand rises wobbly. Oh, for Christ's sake, he's awake! Anesthetist!
Can't be unconscious. What I gave him would knock out an elephant.
Well, goddamn, he's awake! Double the dose!
Your boss.
The anesthetist fills the needle and moves to administer the dose.
Now, this would kill an elephant.
So kill the elephant! I don't know why they're bothering with this anyway. Close shot on Marv. He's entwined with tubes and glaring. His voice is a gurgle.
I don't know why either, pal.
Cut to black. Cardiogram effect. Another heartbeat. Interior hospital. Marv lies in a hospital bed, engulfed in life support equipment. Marv's eyes stare calmly, devoid of emotion. Cut to black. Another heartbeat. Marv's eyes stare, expression unchanged. Wider. Marv is in a wheelchair, staring out a window, lit by sunlight. A nurse comes up to pull at the wheelchair. She looks at him, nervous. Cut to black. A heartbeat. A therapist aids Marv with a walker. He's wobbly. Marv's feet take a tentative step. Heartbeat. Marv's feet now wear shoes and walk with confidence. Another man's foot enters frame and knocks Marv's out from underneath him. Wider. We're in a dark room lit only by a single lamp. The lieutenant who just knocked Marv down shoves a foot into Marv's side and rolls Marv on his back. Marv is handcuffed. Marv stares blankly as the lieutenant kneels over Marv, thrusting a sheaf of paper into his face.
You're gonna save the state a pile of money, Marv. We got a heap of dead bodies to account for, and you're the boy to blame. You're gonna sign right here on the dotted line and confess to murdering everybody from Roark to that slut who gave you a freebie.
Marv doesn't respond. The lieutenant rises and pulls on a rubber glove.
Then we do this. Slow way, close the door, Murphy.
Heartbeat. A wormy district attorney adjusts his glasses and smiles. He flattens out papers and sets them down in front of Marv, who sits, his back to us. We're still in the dark room.
It's in no one's interest to protect this process. The newspapers are already curious about the certain aspects of this case, and the Roark family doesn't want to hear any talk of cannibalism.
The condition of Marv's face shows the result of days of beatings. He shows no sign of emotion.
We have tried our best to reason with you, but you will not listen to reason. You are driving us to extremes.
The DA holds out a fountain pen.
So let me be blunt. Sign this confession, or we will kill your mother.
Marv meets the DA's eyes and nods. He then reaches out and towards the pen, grabs the DA's wrist, and whips the arm like a rope. Sounds of bones breaking. The DA falls screaming out of his chair as Marv calmly picks up the pen. Marv's hand signs the confession in childlike block letters. Heartbeat. In courtroom day, the place is packed. Marv stands facing the judge, who's in a lather.
For unspeakable crimes, for the foul and deliberate murders of a great and holy man, it is the judgment of this court
Marv still calm as he hears the sentence. His face is healed.
that you will be remanded to state prison, there to face death by electrocution at midnight on the second Sunday of this month.
Crowd. A cheer goes up. People are on their feet. The judge pounds the gavel for order. Wendy, solemn, wearing sunglasses, rises and exits. Heartbeat. Exterior prison night. Station wagons and pickup trucks gather for a vigil. 6-packs of beer are unloaded and passed around. It's party time. Interior prison cell. Marv stares at the crowd and lights a cigarette. He turns to the sound of jangling keys and heels clicking on pavement. Interior corridor. We see the legs of a guard and a woman wearing high heels as they walk. We recognize the woman's legs. Interior cell. The guard opens the cell door and lets Wendy enter. Marv and she stare at each other until the guard is gone. Marv smiles.
I got him good for you, didn't I, Goldie?
Wendy smiles at Marv, eyes glistening with tears.
I'm sorry, Wendy. I got confused again seeing you like this.
She shrugs off her coat. She's wearing an evening gown identical to the one Goldie wore that night.
It's all right, Marv. You can call me Goldie.
She moves close to him, against him. They kiss.
Smell like angels ought to smell.
Let me be your angel.
They move away and out of frame. Her moan is musical.
I love you, Goldie.
Heartbeat. A clock shows only a few minutes until midnight. Close shot on Marv as somebody's hands shave his head. Interior corridor. Marv is led by a guard. Marv offers no resistance. Heartbeat. Interior execution chamber. Marv sits calmly as the straps are pulled tight across his wrists and ankles. A helmet with electrical cables running from its sides are placed on his head. Everything's ready to go. The warden stands, reciting.
In accordance with the law of the state of California and pursuant to the decision as rendered by Her Honorable Judge Celia Estevez of the 16th District Court of Basin City, it is my duty.
Ah, for crying out loud, could you get a move on?
Warden turns to the executioner.
You heard the man. Hit it.
The executioner throws the switch. The heartbeat goes wild and jagged. Marv jerks as incredible voltage rips through him. Exterior prison night. The crowd whoops and hollers as the prison lights dim. Marv jerks and jerks his skeleton flashing negative. The heartbeat flattens out to a red horizontal line. Marv slumps in his chair, head pitched forward, smoke rising from his skin. We fade to black. Blackness and silence for a beat. Then the red line crawls across the screen yet again and jumps with another thunderous heartbeat. Marv slowly raises his head as his ghastly cackle fills the room.
Is that the best you can do, you pansies?
The switch is thrown again. Marv jerks and jerks and jerks as the voltage is sustained for what seems like forever. Goldie. She smiles up at Marv. She kisses him, takes his hand against blackness. The heart-shaped bed spins away, resolving to. Close up on Marv's eye. His pupil fills the frame, black. We pull away to his face, unmoving, smoke rising, flesh burnt in patches. He stares at us dead, but still menacing, glaring, glaring. The end. And that is what it's probably best to be just called Sin City, The Hard Goodbye. Thank you all so much for joining us on this one, and we will see you at the next one.